Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Giambetti along with Mike Egan here to discuss today's topics in high school sports, and I'm
anything
assuming
else that
we'll
comes up.
get to the pros. I just wish we were draft experts. We could probably talk about that for 30 minutes.
I'm still waiting to get my Aaron Rodgers Vikings jersey.
Well, yeah, and you might be waiting a while for that one.
I don't know.
So don't hold your breath.
My inside sources tell me.
Well, it's too bad you can't reveal your sources. You're not supposed to
Sorceress.
reveal your sorceress. Yeah. So first, I told you what I wanted to start with. I want to start with the victory.
You didn't tell me anything.
Well, I didn't tell you anything because I wanted to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
No. But the victory 5K race is Saturday. We want to promote that a little bit. It starts at 9 o'clock. Their school is where St. Leo's used to be in the Catholic Church out there. So the starting line will be out there, and it starts at 9 o'clock. There's same day online registration is closed. Same day registration, I believe, starts at 7:30. So if you're interested in walking or running, or walking, please give them a look, and because they do. I mean, obviously they're trying to raise money for VCA,
Right.
but they also want to raise money for Project Care, I believe it is. And I believe that's
How long is a 5K?
I think it's like 3 miles
Okay.
or around 3 miles.
Yeah, we could walk that.
We could walk.
You do that every day.
easily. Yeah, I could walk that easily.
It's gonna be a beautiful day, Saturday.
And I remember last year, they'll have the streets blocked off, and I know they ran by my house last year down 7th Avenue, and I was out taking pictures, and it was brutal day out last
Wow.
year. So hopefully they get a lot nicer day out tomorrow for this race. And he's got I talked to Alan Rainey, who seems to be the director of the race, and he's actually, I guess, he might be the principal or administrator out
Yes.
at VCA. And he said last year they had about 250 people entrance, and some dropped out because of the weather, I guess. But so he's hoping to get 250 to 300
Nice.
this year. And Project Care, isn't it like the medical thing down by
It's the free clinic.
Free
clinic.
It's in the Haven Court Apartments.
Haven Court Apartments down by
Avenue.
Green, 6th Avenue down there. So and that's a very worthy place to be sending money, because hopefully they take care of a lot of people. I mean, I don't live up there anymore, so I don't see who uses it, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that need the help, and they're there to provide it.
Yeah,
So
I think most of the doctors and all that are volunteer down there too.
So it's a good cause, and I know the VCA, they want to try to keep their tuition down a little bit for people that want to attend. So there you have. If you're looking for a good cause, there you go. You can go to the race. Starts at 9. Registration, I think, is 7:30.
And just so the VCA is the
Victory Christian Academy.
So.
Right past my house.
Yep. So it'll be I'll be waiting for them to run by my house maybe tomorrow, unless I happen to go out there.
Are you going to jump in and join them?
No, probably not. Maybe I should go out there and walk it, but
Yeah.
then I can't really shoot pictures, though. That's the thing.
Or you
So,
could have a water stand in front of your house.
I could.
Yep.
I don't know how hot it's going to be tomorrow. They probably won't need water
Yeah.
if it's
A little hot chocolate.
34 degrees out. I mean, that's.
Does your wife still have the call bell that you can ring when they go by?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's Blue Oyster Cult. We
Yeah.
need more cowbell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going on tomorrow. Next Monday is the Crescendo Youth Orchestra, and the Crescendo Regular Orchestra will have their concert. I believe it's at the high school.
Yep, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock start for that. They will have at some point the city band will join in with the
Oh, nice.
orchestra, and it should be a fun night of music. You can watch the kids, they've really improved over the years.
Now,
So-
is that where they practice in the old Elks downstairs? Is that?
Yeah, that right across from the Howard Court there, where the old Elks building used to be. Crescendo's down on the main floor.
level?
Yeah.
Next to the Viking sewing.
Farther, it used to be the Montgomery Ward building.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's right
So-
next to the sewing.
Yes, right next to the sewing, and Borealis Art Guild if you're into the
Yep.
art
Who?
genre.
Art.
Art.
Who? Art who?
Art who? Don't get me started. So do that. Make sure you attend that. It's always fun, and it's, you know, especially when the city band joins in with them. It's
I'll
going to be a.
recording it.
And are you going to be up in the balcony?
Yeah, I'll record it, people can watch it.
Because I'm going to be up with you then, because they want me to shoot a picture of the entire stage with the members in it. So I'm going to come up there with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so
So-
I have somebody to talk to.
Our ghost over there that we talk to all the time, Ron will be filming it, and then you'll replay it on
All
HPAT.
of our platforms, yeah.
Yep, on all the platforms.
So if you can't get there, you'll be able to watch it on
Yep.
what, Roku and Apple TV and
Yep.
all that other
Amazon TV,
Amazon.
websites,
Yeah.
Cell phone apps.
And
So-
unlike this show, you'll probably enjoy it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't think that the concert's going to be the same as this show, because it won't be.
And it's the last one of the year, correct, Ron?
For the, yeah, for the orchestra.
And they must have their school concerts coming up in May.
I would think so.
Okay,
They
so
probably, yeah, they could have summer music camp again.
I don't know. That I don't know. I don't think they had it last year, if you're talking crescendo or
Yep.
orchestra. I don't think they had it last year, but I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me on that. So that kind of does
Another
it.
30 days, 40 days, school will be done.
I know.
Oy.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And it just seemed like it started in September.
Another year bites the dust.
All right, so speaking of school, high school events going on, the baseball team, I will get this up here,
Oh, pardon me.
right there. Oh, no, yeah, okay, I know, I heard it when I said it. They just have the one win, they're 1-0. They were supposed to play Rock Ridge, they beat Rock Ridge 9-6 down in Maple Grove, and then they were supposed to evidently play Rock Ridge again on the 11th, but there's no score reported there. And they were supposed to play on the 23rd, which was what, yesterday?
Yesterday.
At Hermantown, and there's no score reported there. So Friday, they're at Southridge, which is obviously is down by Brookston and that down by Cloquet. And Southridge has been to the state tournament a few times in their school history the past few years, and they actually lost to Cherry last year in the finals. Took them 2 games, Cherry 2 games to beat
Okay.
them, but they were runner-ups last year. So that's a pretty solid team they're playing there. And then Monday they have a first home game against Mesabi East. So hopefully we'll get. I drove by the field the other day and it looked decent. It didn't look like there was any snow there, so I'm
At
assuming
Bennett?
they'll play. Yeah. And then on Tuesday they have Greenway Nashwauk Keewatin here. So, oh wait, no they don't. It's at Greenway Nashwauk, which is at Nashwauk. So that's what we're looking at for baseball coming up. I wish they'd report scores more to me, but they don't, unfortunately. Which I should get on the AD about that and have her
Speaking of baseball, you're going to the Cherry Chisholm game today?
possibly, yes.
Cherry have a pretty good shot at repeating. the
Well,
state
yeah, they got a
championship?
very good. They were the number 1 team in the state to start the season,
Okay.
but they did get beat by. They went south for 3 games and they got beat by Hayfield, but they did win 2 other games down there. So,
They have, who's pitching for them again?
well, Noah Sundquist
Noah
will be
Sundquist.
pitching. Noah Asama, Noah Sundquist,
Right.
Isaiah Asama, Mason Heitzman. I mean, they got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of
The
pitchers.
2 Brown boys are still
Yeah,
playing.
they're playing. So that ought to be interesting tonight to see.
They're gonna play Hibbing this year?
I believe they are playing Hibbing.
Good.
On May 5th, they have a game here against Cherry.
That'd be a fun one to watch, huh?
So, yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I can't tell you how the baseball team is, but because I haven't seen them play, but they do have some solid players.
Good.
So it should be a decent game. So, softball team actually kind of surprised me when I found out the other day that they beat Proctor
Oh,
down there at Proctor. That was like 9-7 or 7-5 or one somewhere in there. I don't have it up here. I suppose I could look for it, but I don't want to waste time. But yesterday they got beat 9-0 by Cloquet,
oh.
which isn't it's not a crime. I mean, because Cloquet is usually fairly solid all the time. But yeah, it's disappointing that it was that bad. I wish they would have scored.
Do they have that strong pitcher again this year, or is that?
Who, Hibbing?
Yeah.
No, Ani Gravis, he graduated. Bowman, we're
Okay.
talking about, and she's down playing college ball in southern Minnesota somewhere.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly where. I'm sorry about that, but the Emma McDowell has been doing most of the pitching this year for them, and she's holding her own.
Good.
So they'll be strong there. It's just a matter of how the offense rolls around.
Right.
But Proctor's been to state a few times. Now I don't know what kind of team they have this year, but to beat them, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Cloquet is always tough though, so they'll. And then they have a tournament this week in Bovee. A bunch of teams over there. Cherry, I know, is there. Obviously, GNK will be there. Deer River might be there. I can look that up, but yeah. So they'll play 3 games on Friday, and they'll certainly get a lot of work in at that point. So
It's got to be tough playing any sport when it's 40 degrees out.
you know, yeah, it's hard. I've been doing this for 36 years or 35 years, and the spring never gets different.
No.
It never. There's maybe been one time that I can remember where you actually didn't freeze when you were out covering baseball.
So you started with the paper when you were 12 years old?
Well, pretty close.
Holy smokes.
No, I was at like 1988 or so when I started.
How many routes did you have?
Yeah, I know I had a route with the Duluth News Tribune when I was a kid, but that was the only route I ever had.
And then you went to the competition.
Yeah, started writing for the competition. But for softball, I mean, they beat Mesabi East 3-2, which isn't a bad. That's a good win. They beat Proctor 7-5, and then they lost 9-0 to Cloquet. Then tomorrow they have Cherry, Deer River. It looks like Denfeld, Rapids, GNK, Hibbing, Falls, and Mesabi East. They'll all be at Bovee. So there'll be plenty of softball. They have 3 nice fields at Jenny Geyer Field there. Just it's in Bovee, obviously, and then you have to go. If you go into Bovee, it's to the right. They have a complex there, and they have some really nice fields there.
Nice.
So if you're looking for something to do, there you go. I don't know what time it starts.
Dress
It
warm.
starts at noon.
Dress
so
warm.
I don't know how many games there'll be, but it sounds like a lot of decent teams there. So
Well, if the weather's anything like it was Tuesday, dress warm.
yeah, it's no fun watching sports outside when you can't enjoy it.
I was sitting at watching the track meet the other day, and Cloquet on Tuesday. And I think I had 3 blankets, a couple hats. I looked like Aqualung, or not Aquaman.
Aquaman.
No, what's that song? Sitting on the park bench. Aqualung. Yeah, Aqualung.
I don't know what song you're talking about, but
About a lecherous old man sitting on a bench. I'm covered with blankets and hats. Are they done yet?
yeah,
Are they done?
because I mean you're there to watch. We know you're there to watch your granddaughter. So then she runs.
Then you got to wait 4 hours.
Yeah. So what are you doing? I mean, you watch the rest of the races, but
Yeah.
I mean, you're
And then they're
obviously-
all out there running around in their track outfits with the shorts and the tank tops. And I'm going, God,
Yeah.
by the time I got around that track on the mile, they all had icicles on them.
Well, speaking of that, the girls did win that
Yes.
Lake Superior Conference quad the other day. The boys finished second to Cloquet, but the girls had about 7 or 8 first place finishes.
Yeah. They
So,
got a really nice team. this
Yeah, they
year.
do.
So,
No, they had another LSC Quint, which is 5, and that was in Grand Rapids, I believe.
Oh,
So
okay.
what it was, Hibbing, Cloquet, was it Superior, and Denfeld
Duluth Enfield. Yep.
were at the quad, and then the other 5 teams, I'm not even going to want to try to name them.
Yep.
Well, it would be Rock Ridge and Grand Rapids, and whoever else comes out, maybe Hermantown, and whatever. but they were all in Grand Rapids for that, so they were split up that day, and I know Rock Ridge won both of those two meets.
Thank God, because you go to the track meets when they got 10 teams there, you might as well just pack a lunch, dinner,
Oh.
and a snack.
Yeah, you're there for a long time.
Yeah,
Jethro Tull, Aqua Lung.
yeah, Aqualung, Jethro
Aqualung.
Tull, yeah.
Jethro Tull.
Sitting on a park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent.
Oh,
Yeah. It's not
don't
really
say
that
that on the
physical.
air.
Aqualung, that's the song.
It's just
For all our fans out there that are my age, will remember
Yeah,
that
that's
song.
Well, I remember Jethro Tull, but I
Yeah.
don't remember ever. I don't listen
Aqualung?
to him. Yeah, I don't
Oh.
ever listen to him very
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'll play it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We can play it on the air. We might have to pay him if we play it on the
Yeah,
air, so
yeah.
we might not have to, might be able to do that. But it's going to be nice once the weather gets better, obviously.
And who says this show doesn't cover everything? We went from Aqualung to a track meet
Yeah,
to softball to baseball
that's right.
and to the lousy weather. I mean, what else could you
Uh,
ask for? Pro sports.
Better content.
better speakers.
Yeah, yeah. That's the other issue. Tennis. They were supposed to play Duluth East the other night, but that one got rained out. And they did win one on Monday, I believe.
Too bad you can't get that big balloon to go over the tennis court. That can't be that big of a
Well,
deal. You
that's
blow
why
it up.
that's why we need indoor courts in this city. Don't get on it. They're getting on me on it again. Then we wouldn't have to sit outside and freeze.
Well, just when you win the lottery, you can build a Gary G. and Betty athletic facility. How's that?
That would, 400-meter track,
Yeah.
50-meter pool.
Well, don't get too excited. You didn't win the big lottery, just a little one.
Well, that would be ideal. Then you might keep kids or get kids to come here
Yeah.
to play sports
Speaking of lottery, how about
and
that?
learn.
How about lottery now? They went from a $2 ticket to a $5 ticket now.
Ooh, so even that went up, huh?
Mega Millions, yeah. So you got a better chance of winning now.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You probably got a better chance being struck by lightning than winning the lottery.
They got about a better chance of winning at anything gambling. They do. Lucky the sun was shining out in Nevada.
Yeah. Yeah, where you were right. In Arizona, you said they had snow
Well,
up in the
I was in
mountains.
Laughlin, and some of the people were going up to the Hoover Dam and to Flagstaff. Yeah, they had 8 to 10 inches of snow, and they said you wouldn't believe all the cars in the ditch and trucks
Oh.
roll. Nobody knows how to drive when it snows. So,
Idiots.
but luckily they didn't go because the Hoover Dam was closed anyways. They're doing
Wow.
some repairs or something.
Well, there you go. So you lucked out.
They pulled that finger out of the dike.
Yeah.
They got to patch the hole. So,
Is that the little Dutch boy who put his finger in the dike?
yeah,
I think so.
that's
Or
right.
is that just paint?
Yeah, that's his paint.
Dutch boy paint. All right. I think that does it
Yeah, we're done. Let's go.
for high school sports. The Wild.
Hey.
They play tonight, and it's tied 1-1. It's funny when your star players step up.
Yep.
What can happen? Now they didn't. Boldy had 2 goals the first game, but Kaprizov, he had an assist, but see, he's got to step it up more, and if he steps it up, the Wild will win.
I just think he's starting to get back into playing shape. He was out for what, 3 months?
Well, he was out for half the
The
year.
season. So,
Yeah.
and they got the young kid who's been a negative every game so far that they brought up.
Well, you think? So? I don't
Colorado.
know. I've heard conflicting reports. He's played okay
Yeah.
for actually having to come in and step in during the playoffs. So should they have done that or not? That's not up to us.
I was
That's
watching. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was watching the game last night. Dallas has a defenseman that's 6'7" without his skates and 250 some pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine and watch him hit people? It was
Well.
gee.
Well, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to get hit by that guy.
But wasn't Mario Lemieux pretty big too, though?
Yeah,
when
he was a
played?
big guy. Well, take care of business at home.
Yeah.
You did your job. You got one game on the road, which we'll talk about. The Wolves blew a big opportunity, but
Yep.
I mean, at least the Wild lost the first game and came back and won the second game. And now take care of business at home. Go up 3-1, and then it's a toss-up.
Yeah, because you go back there for one, they come back here
Here.
for one, correct?
So you can finish them off in 5 or 6 if you do that. Now it's not going to be easy because Vegas is a good team.
Yep.
But now's your opportunity if you want to advance in the playoffs. The Wolves obviously destroyed the Lakers in the first game, and
Well-
I don't know what got into them in the second game, but they didn't take advantage of it.
The old saying, you're gonna live by the 3 or die by the 3. And they were like 3 for 28 on 3-point tries, so, in the second game.
Mm-hmm.
First game, they were shooting over 50%, so, I don't know, they're, like you said, for the Ant-Man to be considered one of the best, and they keep comparing them to Jordan, you better win a championship, or win something.
Yeah, and he's only 23,
Yeah,
so he's got plenty of time.
Yep.
But to be considered one of the elite players in the league, you certainly do have to win a title. Otherwise, it's just why?
right,
I mean, Dan Marino is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, but he
never won a
never
Super
won
Bowl.
a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So now you've got that hanging over your head. You know, and again, I watched Dan Marino play. He was one of the better ones I've seen. You know, Elway won a Super Bowl. Tarkington never won a Super Bowl.
Oh.
Now, not that he's in Elway's or Marino's class, but he wasn't a bad quarterback.
No, and it was different. Football was different back then too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like what it is today. So
So that Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, both won Super Bowls.
yeah, maybe he'll win another one with the Vikes.
Well, we'll get to
Who,
that.
Brett Favre or Aaron?
But now, again, now the Wolves have 2 games at home.
Yep.
The crowd's going to be fantastic. No, I don't think a crowd has any effect on how the game turns out. I mean, these people that ask these questions about these reporters on FDN, on FanDuel Sports Network, are going to ask the question about the fans and how much they help.
Not
It
really.
doesn't do anything. They don't score goals for you.
No.
They don't score baskets.
No.
The
But-
fans have them. But it is a lift.
But as we mentioned before we started the show, you can't have Naz Reid or Rudy Gobert guarding Luka. That's just they can't do that. They're not going to
No.
win doing that.
No, I heard Trent Tucker talk yesterday on KFan about having to do a better job of switching on the screens. Because you can't have, like you said, you can't have that matchup with him against those
No.
guys because he'll destroy them.
Yep. Well, he did the second game.
And evidently, Julius Randle's doing a heck of a job on LeBron.
Yep.
Must be frustrating him. He's, because he's not afraid of him.
No.
And again, the referees.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh,
Here we go.
terrible.
What, the Lakers in the first game didn't have a foul called on them till like 5 minutes left in the second quarter?
Well, you know the NBA who they want to win.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, and it's not like I hope they're not fixing games, which they probably aren't. But yeah, they don't call fouls. And Paul Allen made a good point yesterday when the Lakers are bringing the ball up. They have one guy standing in front of a Wolves defender setting a moving pick,
Yeah.
and they aren't calling that. I mean, that's the simplest call in the world. If somebody's been screening you while they're moving, I don't know. They have to start. Well, and even in the Wild game, Hartman gets cross-checked in the head, and they don't call
Don't
anything.
call it.
Yeah, it should have been a 5-minute major
Yep.
for doing that. So I don't know. They just don't. Minnesota evidently doesn't get favors from anybody.
Well, we're not a big market team,
No.
although I'm sure Anthony Edwards' jersey probably sells quite a bit. But what Wild jersey? Kaprizov? He hasn't played, so.
Yeah, he's been out so long, but glad he's back. Glad they're both teams are in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's more,
Makes
than,
the
more than
spring-
what the Twins are going to be doing.
Well, yeah, they're
It's our segue.
9 and 15, so 6 games under. Kind of irrelevant right now. What do you think?
I think our manager better keep looking over his shoulder to see when he's going to be replaced. Him and his pitching coach and his hitting coach, and they're terrible.
Oh, Well, yeah, we thought we had a closer in Duran,
Oh,
and then he comes into Chicago, walks two guys, gives up. No, the hit they got on him was so cheap. I mean, but it's a hit. I mean,
yeah,
it counts.
and they're lucky Buxton made their
Well,
big play in the outfield to seal the deal, but,
that could have saved their season if something happens. I
Yeah.
mean, because that game's tied, and who knows if Ben Attendee, maybe he has an inside the park home run if he doesn't make that catch. So yeah, but they got to start hitting the ball. Now they've won 2 against Chicago. They have 4 more at home. Win those 4, get 13. What did I say, 13 and 15, and then you're at least back at closer to 500. And
but then you go to Cleveland.
well, and you got Cleveland, and you can't let them. They dominated us last year.
Yep.
You can't let that happen again.
I don't know, it just doesn't, I mean, they don't have an owner,
No.
they haven't sold yet. So I think their whole season right now is in flux. They don't know what, they don't wanna make any moves, or they don't wanna do anything, and, the poll heads are just sitting back counting their money from years past, and, what do you do?
Well, that's
You can't blame Rocky Balboa for everything.
no, and he can't go out and hit for them.
No.
Now Buxton's starting to finally hit
Yep,
a little bit, and obviously good in center field. Correa's got to start hitting,
yep,
and they got to get Royce Lewis back. I mean, come on.
yeah.
But
Well,
this Luke Keishel guy,
Yeah,
he's
2 hits last
he
night,
might,
right?
He might be the
Yeah.
real. Hopefully, I don't want to say real deal, I guess, but hopefully he's adequate enough to
Yeah.
play. Brooks Lee seems to be okay. I mean, they got the lineup
right.
once everybody's healthy. So
But even their catcher's playing pretty, he had a nice game last night.
no,
So he's no Joe Mauer, but
no. But okay, we don't have a whole lot of time, but we have the NFL draft is tonight. Next week, if we're on, I don't know what the schedule looks like, but we'll talk about that next week.
okay. What advice gonna take?
Well, hopefully some offensive linemen or defensive linemen, I would say, or cornerback.
And then come Friday, you'll have your backup quarterback.
Yep. And you know who that is. All right, well, we're out of time. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support.
Hey, did they tell you who's coming to town? Are you ready for tricks, hooks, and alley-oops with the world-famous Harlem Wizards? I'm talking about soaring and roaring, spinning and grinning. A global entertainment basketball phenomenon. From New York City to your school. Get ready, drop the confetti. Basketball like you've never seen before. Dancing, comedy, prizes, and endless excitement. From the stands, or even on the court. So, wait, where's you going with your teacher? Did he just dunk on your principal? Put the fun back in Fundraiser with action-packed entertainment for the whole community. Hey parents, we're talking to you too. Don't miss the party and a chance to meet all your favorite Harlem Wizards. Tickets on sale now. Visit harlemwizards.com for details.